Our story takes place in ancient times, where there was a merchant who had 3 daughters whom he loved very much. Every day, the merchant went to the market to buy and sell. One day, the merchant wanted to go to the market and asked his daughters what they wanted to bring them from there. The first daughter asked for a beautiful silk dress, the second asked for a pearl necklace, and his third daughter asked for a beautiful red rose. The third daughter was the youngest, the most beautiful, the most spoiled, and the closest to her father. Getting to the market was not easy, as it was far from the merchant's house. The father went to the market, and on the way back, a strong storm blew up and it started to rain heavily, which prompted the merchant to hide in one of the castles located between the market and his house. He decided to stay in the castle until the winds and rains calmed down, and he could return home. The castle that the merchant entered was strange and suspicious, so the merchant began to search for the castle's inhabitants, to ask their permission to stay in it, but he did not find anyone. During his search, he found a dining table prepared with all kinds of delicious foods and drinks, which souls crave, and because of his extreme hunger, he sat at the table and started eating, and after he finished his food, he returned again to search for the castle's inhabitants. He went up to the upper floor in an attempt to find someone, and his search failed, but he found on the upper floor large, beautiful, and organized halls, with spacious bedrooms and luxurious beds. So he could not resist the drowsiness that overcame him, so he slept in one of the rooms and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, when the merchant woke up, he found breakfast next to him, a hot cup of delicious coffee, and a bowl filled with fruit. The merchant was surprised by what he saw and doubted the matter, as there was no one in the castle, so who brings food, drink, and fruit? As the merchant was leaving the castle after the wind and rain had subsided, he found beautiful roses of all shapes and colors at the main entrance. He remembered his youngest daughter's request, so he picked a rose for her. As soon as he picked the rose, he heard a voice like the roar of thunder, screaming at him and telling him that he was ungrateful, because despite all the hospitality he had received inside the castle, he had ruined his roses. The merchant looked, and it was the castle monster screaming. The merchant trembled with fear and told him that his little daughter had asked him to bring her a rose, and he liked these beautiful roses, so he wanted to give his daughter one of them as a gift. The castle monster made a strange request to the merchant. The monster told the merchant that he would forgive him if he brought his little daughter to the castle. The merchant was forced to bring her, so he went home and brought his daughter to the castle so that the monster would not kill him. When the merchant returned to the castle with his daughter, the monster was waiting for them. The little girl was afraid of the sight of the monster, but after a short time, she got used to him. In fact, with time they became very close friends. One day, the monster told the little girl that he wished to be his wife. The girl was surprised by the monster's request. How could a beautiful girl like her marry an ugly monster? But she remembered his kindness and generosity to her and her father. She was also afraid that if she hurt his feelings, he might kill her father. So she chose to tell the monster that she did not agree to his request in a polite and beautiful way without hurting his feelings.